It's Cousin Daddy. All right, guys, thank you so much for stopping by the channel. If you could, please take 1 second, like and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. All right, guys, today I want to get into the topic of the Sensitive Places Law or Act that has been passed in New York, September 1st, 2022, last month, that prohibits concealed carry permit holders to carry anywhere, basically. Anywhere in these sensitive places, right? So, guys, I know everybody listens to a lot of two-way community stuff, and if you do not, that if you're listening and you're starting getting involved in gun news and you're realizing that it is a lot to take in. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of cases, and a lot of things happening all the time in the gun community. And guys, what I'm going to try to do for you is break down the newest stuff that's happening, the stuff that's going to, the biggest stuff that's happening in the news for you guys, and to make it real easy, put it on a little platter for you, cut the corners off the sandwich for you, and make it real easy to try to understand what is happening in the 2A news. So how did this sensitive place law get passed, and how did it begin? So 3 months ago, guys, the biggest case that's probably ever happened in the 2A community is the New York State Pistol and Rifle Association versus Bruen. And this case is what kicked off basically kind of everything you're starting to hear now. All the cases this case went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court upheld for Bruen, for the 2A side, and that kicked off a lot of stuff that you're hearing about now. But what is this case about, right? So what New York State and California and Hawaii and New Jersey and a lot of surrounding states have is they have the form where you fill out to get your concealed carry permit, your carry permit, and what they also have is shall issue laws that basically state that if you're getting a license just to protect yourself, that's not good enough for us. If you do not need to carry a firearm or have a firearm, right, then you do not get a license. And it's a shall issue. And it also goes into like moral character, what type of character are you? And if they feel like that you don't need a license, then you don't get the license. So the case of Bruen, he took the case, filed a lawsuit against New York State, and took the case all the way up the chain, went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court turned over the New York State law about the concealed carry shall issue and said it's unconstitutional, and if a person meets all the requirements, they deserve to get the concealed carry license. And that's that, right? Gavel stamped, and that's that. So what happened is Supreme Court passed the Bruen, right? And then what he did is he issued to all the surrounding states that have the shall issue permit program, basically, right? The law that, hey, if you're doing this and you're denying these people handguns after they do all the requirements, then you're going to have to change your laws immediately. So now every state that has that is starting to change their laws. But here's the thing. So New York State basically states, oh, okay, yeah, we hear what you're saying. Okay, we're going to comply, right? But here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it to where once we give the license to the person who wants to carry the firearm, we're going to make it to where they can't carry it anywhere. That's what we're going to do. We're going to shut them down in the area where you can't even go anywhere. So what are the places, right? Now, a lot of states have, you can't go to a government building with a firearm. A lot of places like you can't go to an indoor concert, with a firearm. Some places have, you can't go to churches. And there's very few limitations on where you can go, right? But let's look at the places that New York has, the law that has passed. So you can't go to any public parks in New York, right? Government buildings. You can't go to Times Square at all. Like if it's connected to Times Square, you can't go there with a gun. Sporting venues, concert centers, gaming halls, places that sell, any place that sells beer, liquor, cider, wine, or 420, like any place that sells that, grocery stores, like anywhere that sells that, museums, or any public transportation. So you can't get around the state carrying your weapon, right? So here's not only that, but here's what the state says. State says that if you're caught in any one of these places with a firearm, right, even though you are an upstanding member of society, you are a registered gun owner, and you have proven yourself to be able to carry this weapon based upon the criteria of how to get the permit, they're saying if you get caught in these areas, then you are going to be arrested and charged, and you will be guilty until you prove yourself innocent. Guys, guilty until you prove yourself innocent. And not only that, if you get caught with it in these places, it's a Class E felony. Guys, this felony is the same as somebody who commits rape, sexual assault, and like sexual battery, and all the way up to like second degree homicide. They're putting us in the class of these people, right? Which serves up to 1 to 5 years if you get caught with this weapon. So we know this is unconstitutional. Everybody knows this is unconstitutional, and this is definitely going to be opening up grounds to start for the court systems to start looking at exactly, okay, well, since they're saying all this is sensitive places, let's look at the original documents of back in the day of what was areas that you couldn't carry. So, man, what New York is doing is really opening up avenues for more Supreme Court decisions to smack down these liberal states that are stopping us from being able to go around, protect ourselves, our families, and the ones we love. But all right, guys, thank you so much for stopping by and watching the video. I'm going to let you go enjoy the rest of the day, and let's go to a